Hi, my name is Rhonda Lynn Corlack, and I'm the Managing Director of Imagineering Unlimited. One of my most popular questions that I get from clients and from our community of supporters around the world is this: how can I change my life right now, today? It seems that many people want to put the past behind them or to make some changes to some aspect of their life that will transform the future and their results for the better. The good news is that for the first time in history, we're actually able to prove through empirical, scientific study just how relevant our thoughts are. We are able to show that our thoughts do influence the world around us in a measurable way. The emotionalized, dominating thoughts we have on a habitual basis somehow impact the quantum field and influence the outcome. But don't get too excited. Every passing fancy that you may have about what you would like your life to be will not suddenly materialize. The only thought with any power is long-term, habitualized, emotionalized thought. The bad news is that most people don't apply long-term, habitual, emotionalized thought to anything positive. That sort of thinking is the domain of worry and anxiety. It's the type of thought that keeps you up at night for all the wrong reasons. Few of us ever learn to apply habitual long-term thinking to positive outcomes. What we give energy to in our thoughts has a transformational magic that can bring those things about. The universal energy that makes this possible is still not fully understood, but the field of quantum physics is making great progress towards that end. Regardless of whether the mechanics of this energy is understood, the results are being proven time and time again. And it seems that the force that transforms habitual, emotionalized thought into reality will do so for positive or negative outcomes alike. It's important for you to make sure that you focus your thinking on what you want, not on what you don't want. To illustrate this point, I want to share with you the remarkable story of Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright had advanced cancer of the lymph nodes and was being treated by Bruno Klopfer. They had tried everything with no success, and his time was clearly running out. Wright's neck, armpits, chest, abdomen, and groin were filled with tumors the size of tennis balls. His spleen and liver were so enlarged that milky fluid had to be drained on a daily basis. Wright had heard about a groundbreaking new drug called Cabriozin, and he was convinced that it held the cure for his condition. He begged for the treatment, and eventually his doctor accepted, even though he felt sure it was too late. Wright, on the other hand, was adamant he had been given a lifeline. He made an astonishing recovery, and Klopfer reported that his tumors had melted like snowballs on a hot stove. 10 days following his first treatment with the new drug, Wright left the hospital and was, as far as doctors could tell, cancer-free. Now, Wright remained well for about 2 months, and then articles began to appear about the validity of Cabriozin. This uncertainty affected Wright, and he became depressed and suffered a relapse. He was readmitted to the hospital, and in desperation, the doctor reassured Wright about the potency of Cabriozin, but that some of the initial supplies had deteriorated during the shipping process. He told Wright that a new highly concentrated version of the drug now existed, and he could treat him with it immediately. Of course, there was no new drug, but Dr. Klopfer suspected that whatever Wright was thinking was having a dramatic result on his body. The doctor went through an elaborate procedure and injected his patient with plain water. Again, the results were astonishing, even more so this time because there was no actual drug involved. The tumors dissolved and the chest fluid vanished, and he was back again on his feet. Again, he remained symptom-free for 2 months. Shortly thereafter, the American Medical Association announced that nationwide study of Cabriozin had found the drug was worthless in the treatment of cancer. Wright was dead within 2 days. In reality, nothing had changed for Wright except for one important thing: his thinking. The moral of this story is very clear. Be careful what you choose to focus your attention on. It could kill you. To find out more about what we do, visit our website imagineeringunlimited.com and pick up a copy of my book, On the Shoulders of Giants. where you can read more about Mr. Right and some other great examples of how when you change your thinking, your language, and the meaning that you attribute to all of the events in your life, you can change your life forever.